Flip, 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 Flip Weekly.
Hello and welcome to the Flip Weekly podcast. My name is Matt. I am your host, and this is a podcast all about reselling. We go to thrift stores, garage sales, Facebook Marketplace, and we find items that we can resell. So it is Thursday, the 16th of April, 2026, and I have not been doing any of those for pretty much the past 2 weeks. I've taken a short break away from thrifting. I'm going to tell you all about that. I'm going to also tell you about things that I've sold over the past week, and I'm going to give you an update on the Goosebumps Whatnot show that I talked to you about going on 2 weeks now. I'm also going to give you an update on the Facebook Marketplace potential scam that we incurred 2 weeks ago. I know that last week was a different one. It was talking about a product that I developed when I was a bit younger, but this one, we're going to talk about everything I just mentioned. Let's just get into it, right? It's going to be a short one, but it'll be good. So yeah, for the past 2 weeks, op shops have not been on my mind. They've been at the very back. I've been chilling, living life with my partner, and that means that going into thrift stores is just, it's not a priority. You know, there are other things in life that you need to make a priority, and your partner is always going to be number one. So op shops, no. It's just not a thing, you know, like you take a break, go on a holiday, eat some good food, visit some places you've never been before. I mean, that's what we did. We slept in some dingy motels. We were stealing the single-ply toilet paper. We were swimming in the ocean. We were getting drunk on the seawater. We were getting hammered. Rent boats, run them aground. Engine trouble in the car. You know, you drive that far that your car just decides to like fucking give up, right? We just had, you know, a good 2 week holiday, and it's just been a really fun time. And op shops, yeah, I can't tell you anything that I bought. You know, that isn't to say that the bank account has run dry, but it's not because we've been thrifting. It's because we've been enjoying the spoils of work, of this side hustle, right? You're getting paid via eBay, via Facebook Marketplace. What are you going to do? You can't take that money with you when you die. Go out, spend it on an experience, spend it on, you know, some nice food at a restaurant, or in our case, Chinese food from a place that you would not want to eat in because everything else in the touristy town that you're in closes apparently at fucking 6 o'clock. We're trying to find a place to eat at 7:30. Everything's closed. That's Australia, right? So anyway, that's what I've been doing for the past 2 weeks. Don't worry, we'll be getting back into some thrifting content next week, the week after, the week after that, the week after that. It's just, you need to take a break every now and again. That's what we did. But there is so much that's happening even within the next week. Like, we're going to do the Goosebumps show. We've had some issues with that. I should probably just tell you about the issues that we've had up to this date, so you'd know that I wanted to have this done before April 16th, you know, while the holidays are still running for us. And that just didn't happen because this parcel that I sent off to Melbourne has been sitting in these Australia Post facilities for the past fucking like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's just been going from in transit facility to the next facility. All the while, these fucking facilities have been within a 30-minute driving distance from where it needs to be. I don't understand why it's just going from facility to facility. The box is big, yes. You know, that's what Retro Rescuers said on their Instagram a couple of days ago, explaining that they contacted Australia Post, something about, you know, the box being big. But I mean, it's a big box. Like, that doesn't mean that you send it to the wrong address. That doesn't mean that it has to be transported from a suburb to a different suburb. Like, what the fuck is the deal with that? So we've had issues to this date. It still hasn't been delivered. You know, I'm recording this on April 15th, the day before you're listening. So we're going to have to push this back. That's literally just sitting in a facility right now. No update since Wednesday. No update since, you know, a couple of days ago. Mitchell from Retro Rescuers said that he has talked to Australia Post and they assured him it would be there this week. But, you know, it's Wednesday now. Thursday's tomorrow. If it's not there by Friday, then it's just going to have to push back. It just has to be pushed back, right? So the date of the auction has been pushed back, of course. It's now the 21st of April at 7 p.m. So the 21st of April is a Tuesday. We just have to hope that there are some Goosebumps collectors out there that are happy to jump on and spend some money on a random fucking Tuesday at 7 p.m. I am excited for it though. We have 100 people that have currently bookmarked the show on Whatnot. I still have to make a Reddit post. I'm going to post on that Goosebumps subreddit. I'm going to say, listen, if you like Goosebumps, jump on over to Whatnot on this day and you can win. You can bid on some items you're never going to see again. But of course, before I have to do that, it's a fucking subreddit, and we're dealing with the moderators of the subreddit. These people take their jobs, their volunteer jobs, so seriously that in order to make this post, in order for them to allow me to make this post, that's literally what they said to me. They said, if you want to submit this, we will allow you to, but you have to jump through these fucking hoops first, and then you can submit the post. We have to jump through those hoops, get this post done on Reddit, a bit more marketing and promotion. It might bring in some people from overseas. Just keep getting some attention to it, and just hope for a high sale price, right? Like I said, the bank accounts run dry from running all over the fucking country for the past 2 weeks. So we need a bit of money. We need some sales. The Goosebumps is going to be a good one. Not to mention, fucking dumbass Matt here, I was going to take my girl to Melbourne to see a show, book the flight tickets, was just about to book the show that I wanted to see with her, and realized last minute that I had booked a month in advance, a month later. So I contacted Jetstar, and I was like, I accidentally did this, can I get my money back? Can I get a refund? They were like, we don't do refunds. We don't fucking do refunds. What? You book a ticket, you make a mistake, and that's it. So on this date, a month to this day, like fucking May 15th, I think it is, there's going to be 2 empty seats on this fucking plane because I can't get my money back, right? And if you want to change your name, you're going to have to pay X amount of dollars. And the cost of changing the name is essentially the cost to book the flights again. So it's like, what's the point? I don't understand why they can't just be like, oh, I see you made a mistake, here's your money back. That's just money down the drain. But anyway. That's the Goosebumps update. It is going live again, 21st of April, 7 p.m. Make sure you download the Whatnot app, search Retro Rescuers, bookmark the show. You'll get notified when it's going to go live. I think Mitchell is going to take photos of every single item and have it up on Whatnot before the show goes live, so you can browse through all of that. But if you want to see photos, you can go back to Flip Weekly's newsletter from 2 weeks ago. Go to flipweekly.com, check out the past issues, and view the Goosebumps items. There's some really cool shit there that you're never going to see again. So if you're in any way interested in doing that, check it out. And if you're a reseller, if you get this shit for like $1, $2, I don't know how Whatnot goes now. When I watched it back in the day, everything's selling for $1 plus postage. There is some stuff here that is going to be undervalued, and people aren't going to see the value in it. Maybe I should tell you what some of these items are going to be, but you can probably make some decent money buying this shit to resell. But yeah, I'm not going to try and convince you to buy it because I'm not here to sell you anything. I don't want you to buy my shit, right? I want it to sell for fair market value, not Flip Weekly readers buying it. So yeah, Flip Weekly podcast listeners, buying it. So yeah, 7 p.m., 21st of April. It's a Tuesday night. Come along, hang out, be a bit of fun. Before I jump into what I sold for the week, I want to give you an update again from 2 weeks ago. You'll remember that there was a lady that felt like she was going to scam me. She picked up a WWE Hell in a Cell playset from my place. It was her son's birthday, and she came in the morning. It was AM sometime. I left it out for her on top of my magic freezer. She came, picked it up, didn't leave cash. And then for the next few days, she just kept putting it off. And she said that she had transferred money. It never arrived. Anyway, I have an update about that. So let me just take you back real quick. It was a Monday. a couple of days after she picked it up that I said to her that I haven't received payment. I'd gotten quite short in my messages. The message was at 6 p.m. and I said, hey, I still haven't received payment. I don't know if I told you about this one, but I'm just going to tell you again. And she wrote back to me, really? With a question mark, exclamation mark. It's left my account. Let me double check 1 second. Yeah, it's definitely out of my account. Then she said to me that if it doesn't go in overnight, she's going to call the bank first thing. Worst case scenario, she's going to bring me cash and then transfer back to me when it processes. That to me, red flags all around. So the next day comes and I said, I waited until midday, still nothing. I didn't receive a reply from her. And then we have the next day. It was April 1 at this point in time, which is a Wednesday. And I said to her, hi Cassie, still nothing. I haven't experienced this before on Marketplace. I'm going to need payment before the end of the day or I'll have to take things further. Now, look, when I say shit like that, it's really just bullshitting because I'm not going to take this chick, to court over this. I don't even think, it would be a pain in the ass, right? Like, what would you have to do? Send out a letter of demand and take it to small claims court. Be a pain in the ass. You don't even know if this person has the money. I have all these fucking vindictive ideas of what I'd want to do, but, it would probably never happen. If she would have blocked me, I might not have even been able to find any more information about her. So I guess I'm trying to tell Facebook Marketplace scammers out there, if you're going to scam someone, just fucking block them. And chances are you'll probably get away with it. Anyway, she said to me, and she didn't start with any pleasantries. She said, okay, which bank are you with? I will go and deposit cash straight into it. And when you receive the other funds, just send them back. And then I replied to her, we tried the banks before. Cash is what I would accept. She replies about an hour later saying, okay, I'm in Newcastle today, but am back tomorrow. Now, this bitch didn't realize that I grew up in Newcastle, so I still have a Newcastle bank account. So I said, in that case, you can deposit straight to my Newcastle permanent bank account. I gave her all of my details and I said, I'll expect payment to be made today and to send the receipt. And then she said, and this proves that this bitch hadn't sent through any money whatsoever. There was no issue with the bank. This is what she said. She said, okay, I'll head to the bank within an hour. Can you let me know if you receive it before then? And then I wrote, sure. Now, here was my thought process. My thought was that if the next message I receive from her is I've just gone to the bank and deposited the money, then she has been honest with me. But if the next message I receive from her is anything but that, maybe, check your account, it's been a scam, right? She's supposedly in Newcastle. She's going to head to the bank within an hour, but she's asking if I can let her know if I receive it before then. In about 15 minutes after she wrote that, I checked my account and she had sent me through $450. But I didn't send a message to her to let her know because I wanted to just see if she was going to actually go to the bank or if this was just a fucking ploy all along, right? So about 30 minutes afterwards, she wrote, have you checked? I just called my bank again and they said to ask you to double check as it's definitely gone from mine. So that just confirms it. This person was lying this entire time. I don't believe that they were even in Newcastle. I don't believe they had called their bank. I think they were just putting it off because they didn't want to spend $450, and I don't blame them. This is a $450 fucking wrestling playset. Don't spend that much money on your kid if you can't fucking afford it. It was a scam in a way, but I did end up getting my money. Is this going to stop me from leaving, shit outside on my magic freezer? Probably not. I'm going to still do it. I know this shit's going to eventually happen where they're going to block me, and I'm just going to write it off and probably bitch about it. But it's not, I'm not going to change my ways. I'd rather get scammed from taking a chance than have to meet some of these weird Facebook Marketplace people anyway. So I didn't get scammed on that. That was a good sale. That was 2 weeks ago sale. But I'm just going to quickly tell you about some sales from this week. I'm going to start off with a 30-day sell-through rate item. This was a 1970s Matchbox Superfast Streak Around. Now, this is just some small Matchbox loop-de-loop playset thing from the 70s. I got it last month. It's sold for $150. I bought it for $30. It's off to New Zealand. I just have to figure out how the fuck I'm going to pack this, because I was thinking, if it's domestically, I'm just going to wrap some bubble wrap around it and ship it off. And I even included that in the description. And if you want a box, to let me know. But somebody from New Zealand bought it. So I'm like, I can't really just send it in bubble wrap, right? I have to find a fucking box. I don't want it destroyed. And when I measured it, I measured it exactly. I didn't account for a box. Stupid me, right? So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll just delay it until I have to deal with it. Like most things in life, right? Just put it off until it comes knocking on the door. And that's, why, in a way, our trip sort of cut short was because the car light came on when we were traveling up north. We were like, let's just keep going north, stopping at all these hotels, whatever. And I think was it the first stop or the second stop where the car engine light came on? That's never a good fucking thing, right? So we checked out of our hotel in the morning and found a mechanic in this place. We had to go to 5 different mechanics. They all said they were too fucking busy. And I said to my girl, I bet if you went in instead of me, they would fucking fit you in. Finally got to the 6th mechanic, begged them to take a look at the car so we could keep driving, right? Like, we're going to put some miles on the car. They plugged it in. They did whatever they had to do, get the code. They said they reset the code and the engine light didn't come back on, so the car was fine. We kept driving. A couple of nights go by, I come back. The engine light comes back on. So take care of your cars. Don't put things off. I don't know. I'm going to put things off anyway. The next sale. What do we got? This is a really expensive book. I bought it for $4. This is an Adventure Time book. It's called the Enchiridion and Marcy's Super Secret Scrapbook. It's a hardcover. It's got a dust jacket. If you've ever seen Adventure Time, you might know this as sort of a holy grail Adventure Time book. Not many people are selling their copy. This sold on eBay for $190. I had it up for $200. I found it in Lifeline, $4 into $190 for a book. I'm still going to pick up Adventure Time stuff if they're going to sell for over $100. There's some obscure stuff out there. If you want to see photos of this book or the characters from Adventure Time, just go to flipweekly.com, check them out, and you'll be able to hone in on these characters and try and find them. You can find some plush. They all sell quite well. You can find the books. You can find just really obscure merchandise. Now, the next thing was a couple of DVDs. I bought them for $4 and they sold for $95. It is an Australian sitcom or Australian television show from the 80s. It's called The Henderson Kids. Now, that was a decent pickup. It wasn't a home run. It sold for $95, so 4 into $95. I think they might have sold a bit quicker because they were sealed, or one of them was sealed. But still a decent show to keep an eye out for. There's only 2 seasons, so it's going to max out at about $100. But, you can't really complain if you're going to get these pretty cheap, right? Now, the next thing that sold, it was 2 things, actually, and I couldn't resist picking these up not that long ago. It was 2 items. They were completely free. They were just up the road. And it's like, not exciting, but if a bit of money is going to fall into your lap, I'm not going to shoo it away, right? Like, these were 2 things. There's a VHS player, not exciting, and a DVD player. No, it was a Blu-ray player, sorry. I saw it on Marketplace, free, up the road. I'm like, I'm just going to duck out and get this, right? Both of them were working. They both sold for full price. And the thing is, the Blu-ray player sold in 12 hours and the VHS player sold in 4 days. So it turned $0 into $200 in 96 hours. I didn't have to pay a fucking thing. People were just giving this stuff away. I didn't even want the Blu-ray player. I said I'd just take the VHS, and the guy was like, take both. I'm like, I'm not going to argue with him. He's giving me stuff for free. And yeah, that sold in like 12 hours. That's fucking crazy, right? So just keep an eye out on Facebook Marketplace for free stuff and turn it into $200 in less than 4 days. Now, the next sale, Facebook Marketplace deal. I got a huge Street Sharks bundle. A couple of months ago, was it? I can't remember the exact date, but I sold 3 of them to the same buyer. He got 3 for $200. They were Jab. There was an evil villain guy. 2 evil villains, actually. If you want to see photos, again, flipweekly.com. But yeah, he got them for $200. It's a bit of a discount from eBay On eBay, I think in total they might have been $350, $400, but marketplace, no fees, you get the money instantly. And when we're traveling and spending hundreds of dollars on hotels and stuff, I'm just going to accept $200 in the bank account. Now we have a couple of other sales that you can check out on flipweekly.com. I'm not going to get into them because this is just going to be a short episode for you, just so that we can tide you over until next week, where I'm sure it's going to be much bigger, much better. We're going to have marketplace deals. We're going to have the Goosebumps update. That's going to be on the Tuesday, which means the podcast is going to have all the numbers on the Thursday. We're going to try and record it, splice in some of the, bigger sales, and hopefully it does okay. But yeah, look, that's it for this week. Thank you again for listening. I'll see you again next week.
Flip, 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 flip.
Flip Weekly.